Hello guys, welcome to TMXing Adventures. Lisa here. So today I'm going to show you some manual making in the Thermomix. It is a cool Monday. There are some gluten-free bread rolls made from the Artisan gluten-free bread recipe on Cookie Dough going into the oven right now. And I'm going to just steam some chicken, okay? I need chicken for lunch. I want to shred some with some mayonnaise to go on sandwiches with lettuce, but I also want some for this evening. This evening we have a online meeting and I'm cooking a beautiful gut, what's it called? Use It Up Flu Fighter chicken soup from the most recent Thermomix magazine. You can find it probably in your Coles and Woolworths. So I need some chicken for that. And it says to use it from a different recipe in the book, but ultimately I just need some chicken. So when you need chicken, it's really easy to cook your chicken in your Thermomix. And it's never dry, it's never overdone, it's just perfect. So let me today tell you how to do this, and you can do it in whatever model Thermomix you have. Now, if you're watching on today, I'd love you to say hi. Let me know what you've been making in your Thermomix. If you've got questions about a recipe you're making or something with your Thermomix, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. And if you live in Australia and you want to get a TM7 on the bench, head to my website for further information. Reach out so I can send you a link to do so. I'd be honored to help you. But lastly, send this video to a friend or family member who has a Thermomix so they can be getting the most out of it. You'll find me Monday to Friday cooking live on Facebook, and I put the replay on YouTube. And if it's a two-part recipe with a big cook time or something, that's when you go to YouTube because you see the whole lot. But my whole goal is that you'll get the most out of your Thermomix regardless of what model you've got. By the way, before I start, check out the marigold from the garden the kids brought in today. Look at how big it is. Look at that. It is just stunning. Like, look at the size compared to my hand. It is phenomenal. Like, it is massive. Anyway, just thought I'd show you the little things. The garden's actually going beautifully at the moment. Winter garden is just my favorite with the broccoli and the cabbage and things like that. Anyway, I digress. So we need for steaming. Now on a TM31, TM5, TM6, you will manually do this. You will put half a litre of water because we're going to steam for half an hour in total probably. You're going to then put half an hour on the timer. You're going to put it on Varoma, and you're going to put it on speed 1, 1.5, 2, just depending on how much you've got in there, how much steam you want to go up, and also how it feels with your Thermomix. Sometimes you are cooking with kind of that feel. If it feels on your TM31 that it's jiggling too much, turn it down. Turn the speed down, not the temperature, the speed. If it's going faster, up to like on speed 2, you'll notice the steam goes up faster, so it cooks faster. But you also don't want the Varoma jiggling around too much. On a TM6, we have a steaming mode. So we come here to our modes and we click on steaming. And if you're not sure how to use it, you go to the tips. Because I've been steaming for a long time, I can just bring up the scales, and I told you that tip. Half a litre of water, half an hour of steaming. 1 litre of water, 1 hour of steaming. An hour and a half of cooking, so we're doing a whole chook or a corned beef, it's going to be 1.5 litres of water. Okay, so it matches. That allows for the evaporation. So I need about 500 grams of water. Now, if you're in a hurry for this, bring it up on kettle mode, or if you're TM31 or TM5, boil your jug. Okay, so I've got my half a litre of water in there. I need to pop on my lid. Now, if you're only doing a small portion, you might use your simmering basket. Okay, it'll work beautifully. I have a whole 1.3 kilos worth of chicken breast. I don't know, I can show you by lifting it up, that I have laid on baking paper in the Varoma tray and the base. And I've just then sprinkled herbs on top. So I've got some mixed, I've got basil, I've got parsley, I've got garlic, onion flakes, some garlic powder, some rosemary, okay, sprinkled on top. You don't have to do that. I just like to give it a bit of color. So, and as I said, I'm using it to do a whole big tray of chicken breast that I have cut into 1 centimeter strips, okay? So that's now layered up. I haven't poked holes in the baking paper. I probably will. So at about the 20-minute mark, I will come back and I'll actually pull apart the little bits of meat. What you'll find is the meat through will most likely have cooked, but the bits that won't will be the bits that are touching. So I will get a spoon, and at that point in time, I'll probably poke the holes in it and I'll pull them apart. I don't have to use baking paper, but I like using baking paper because it just means the meat doesn't get stuck in the holes of the tray. Now, you can put it in a dishwasher, it will blast out those holes. But if you don't have a dishwasher, baking paper is your lifesaver. Even when you poke 4 holes in it for the juice to run through, those 4 holes don't get clogged up because the juice is so, like, it just runs through. Same with the bottom, you rarely find that those holes get clogged because it's just so much movement of that steam going through that it just doesn't stick in there. So I'm going to put this on the half an hour. As I said, if I forget about it for half an hour, it's very likely to have cooked in that time anyway. Now, because I'm using the Varoma, I can leave it on that pitcher. If I was using it for a small portion in the simmering basket, I'd pick that. And if I was doing both, and I've got to say, I contemplated boiling some eggs as well, but didn't get around to it. So I could put that in where I've got the simmering basket and then I've got the 2 layers of the Varoma. But we're going to use this one. I do love how the pitcher matches. I've got it on speed 1 and it says reverse. That's just what it's on. You can go forwards. It really makes no difference because I've only got water in the bottom. Now, you could have something other than water in the bottom. You could have pumpkin soup cooking in the bottom or chicken soup in the bottom, okay? You can do other things underneath this. I'm actually wanting the broth as well from this. So not only do I want a portion of this meat, I want, let me have a look and see. I want to have, it says 1.2 litres of turmeric chicken bone broth from the next to recipe, or liquid chicken stock. Well, that's what I'm making, right? Those juices are going to run through and be liquid stock. Now, I don't have 1.2 litres. I'll have whatever's remaining from my 500, but that's okay. I'll just add more water to it. I'll probably add a tiny bit of veggie stock out of the fridge as well. And then it's asking for 200 to 400 grams of leftover cooked chicken. So there'll be plenty in there because we don't need all that for lunch. So do you use your Varoma? Is it something you feel confident to do? You know, I do find those who have a TM31, yours might be in the back of your cupboard, lost and forgotten. I've met many of people at demos where I'm like, where's your Varoma? I didn't get one. You got one. It just very quickly went to the back of the cupboard and has been forgotten. It is such a valuable part of our Thermomix. It means we don't own a microwave. It means that we reheat over steam. Hello, Raylene. Hello, Lorraine. Lovely to see you both on today. If I've got leftover curry, it goes in a Pyrex dish, and I've been doing this for years, since TM5 days. It goes in a Pyrex dish, so a glass dish, up in the Varoma, and the rice goes in the simmering basket underneath, and in the 20 minutes the rice is cooking, it's reheating your curry up in the Pyrex dish. It's a really great way of being able to, cook it all in one. It's all happening, and because you've got the Pyrex dish, you've also got space around it for the broccoli and the cauliflower, those sorts of things. So if you don't use your Varoma, we're going to spend some time using it over the coming weeks so that hopefully you pull it out and you get the most out of your Thermomix. Hello, Kathy. Lovely to see you on as well. So I will pop back to those of you who watch the replay on YouTube. You can see me do the stir through in 20 minutes time. What I'm going to do to remind myself is I'm actually going to put the timer on. I could just go 20 minutes and 10 minutes. However, if I get outside in the yard, it's a bit wet, so I may not. But if I do get outside or down in the shed, at least at half an hour, very good chance it will have cooked through. If I do pull them apart and there's a little bit of pink still, I will simply put 5 minutes on and it will do that. But I think we'll be a-okay with this. So, okay, welcome back. It is done, and I actually forgot to come back and stir it even with a timer on. So lots going on in our kitchen. Now remember, your Varoma, no matter what model, is your drip tray. I have to just be a bit careful because I'm under the bench and I can't get it out under the bench. So you can see all that juice. That was the juice that I was commenting that I'd like to put through to become my future. And I would have done this had I come and paid attention 10 minutes ago. I would have poked the hole in it. So I'm just looking, there we go. I'm just kind of breaking the paper in places so that can go through, and that'll run down to the bottom. I could also get tongs and take this off now. I'm just having a look to see if it's cooked. It was chicken breast. I'm expecting it to be pink all the way through. Look, even the bottom of that's looking really good. And yes, I didn't stir it, but you can see there, even where it's touching other bits of meat, it's cooked, which in half an hour, I'm happy with that. We're going to put it in the bowl in a minute. We're going to do some shredding with it. Just a bonus tip for you today. So let me just Just checking some of the last bits. I'm waiting for the juice to run down so I can transfer this aside. Here it goes. Here's the last of it going through now. You guys see that? Yeah, just. There we go. Do not want to let any of that go to waste. Often I will just lift it up by this, but let's just lift the whole tray off now. And we can see the bottom bits. You see they look beautifully cooked too. Look like chicken tenders. They weren't. They were sliced up breast, but they kind of have that tenders look. So I will come back to you in a moment. I need to get the liquid out of here to put it aside in a jar. And then we're going to put this in and we're going to shred it. So I'll see you in a couple of seconds. Okay, I've got a jar. That's all I needed. So now I can take the lid off. We're going to put this beautiful chicken stock into the jar. It is going to be hot. I may need to adjust my fingers. Hopefully I picked a good jar too. Will it fit? Oh, yeah. Just do this on the bench. Oh, so close. We'll leave that last dribble in the bottom. And then we just put, to actually shred, shredding in our Thermomix is so incredibly simple. So in with all this beautiful, I'm going to not put all of it in though, on that second thought. I'm going to just, I want some of it to not be shredded for tonight's consultant cook that I'm doing. So I'll put maybe half in and we'll go from there. I reckon that might be enough. So to shred it with your Thermomix, it is incredibly simple, and I will be scraping that meat juice into my stock later too. It's a matter of going on to manual, and you're going to go 4 seconds, reverse speed 4. So really simple. Put it on 4 seconds. Put it on 4 because then you remember, like it does it for you. Reverse, play button, and off it goes. What's it saying? Ugh, sorry, I'm just cleaning the screen off. What did it say? Lids on. Oh, got to put speed 4 on. That will help. Speed 4, play button. Off it goes. So, now we've got shredded chicken. Really good way of saving money. Really quick to make as well. And look at that. It's just amazing how easy and quick it is with the Thermomix, and no matter what model you've got. So I hope this inspires you to give it a go in your Thermomix today. Check out the magazine when you're having a look in Woolworths and Coles and those sorts of places, your local newsagents. Some beautiful recipes. Some of them are now on Cookie Doo, but they won't be putting them all on Cookie Doo. Some are exclusive to the recipe, but a great way to cook your chicken to perfection, shred it, and even have your beautiful chicken stock from it as well. But otherwise, take care, and I'm going to see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.